Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Gaura Pramanande. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam uderaye nasta prayesu abhadresu nityam bhagavatam sevaya bhagavate uttamaśloke bhaktir bhavati naistikhe. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 15, Text 3. Is it 3? Okay, good. Chapter entitled King Prithu's Appearance and Coronation. Visaya Uchu Isa Vishnur Bhagavatam Kala Bhuvana Paline Iyam Cha Lakshmya Sambhuti Purusasya Napayane Visaya Vucho Isa Vishnur Bhagavatam Kala Bhuvana Paline Iyam Cha Lakshmya Sambhuti Purusasya Napayane Visaya Vucho Isa Vishnur Bhagavatam Kala Bhuvana Paline Iyam Cha Lakshmya Sambhuti Purusasya Napayane. Mataji. The sages said, Isa, this male, Vishnu, of Lord Vishnu, Bhagavatam, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Kala, expansion, Bhuvana Palini, who maintains the world, Ayam, this female, Cha, also, Lakshmiya, of the goddess of fortune, Sambhuti, expansion, Purusasya, of the Lord, Anapayane, inseparable. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation: the great sages said, the male is the plenary expansion of the power of Lord Vishnu, who maintains the entire universe, and the female is the plenary expansions of the goddess of fortune, who is never separated from the Lord. Purport: the significance of the goddess of fortunes never being separated from the Lord is clearly mentioned herein. People in the material world are very fond of the goddess of fortune, and they want her favor in the form of riches. They should know, however, that the goddess of fortune is inseparable from the Lord Vishnu. Materialists should understand that the goddess of fortune should be worshipped along with Lord Vishnu and should not be regarded separately. Materialists seeking the favor of the goddess of fortune must worship Lord Vishnu and Lakshmi together to maintain material opulence. If a materialist follows the policy of Ravana, who wanted to separate Sita from Lord Ramachandra, the process of separation will vanquish him. Those who are very rich and have taken favor of the goddess of fortune in this world must engage their money in the service of the Lord. In this way, they can continue in their opulent positions without disturbances. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chaksoranmalitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Khadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Gurun Sri Yutapada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Sri Rupam Sangrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vidam Tam Sujivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijanasaidam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakan Vitam Sha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bando Jagatpate Gopisa Gopika Radha Kantanam Priye Vanchakalpatrubhyascha Kripasindhubhyayevacha Patidanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Visaya Vucho Isa Vishnur Bhagavata Kala Bhavana Panine Yam Cha Lakshmya, expansions of the power of Lord Vishnu, who maintains the entire universe, and the female is the plenary expansions of the goddess of fortune, who is never separated from the Lord. So now we are coming to the wonderful chapters of King Prithu's appearance and coronation. The world and the living entities become overjoyed when they get a good leader for themselves. The whole problem in the material world today, we are seeing lacking of wonderful leaders who can say something very good to the living entities and who also can apply whatever they talk to others, preach and practices, becomes very important things. Otherwise, those who are talking and talking and talking, there are too many people around. But those who are to show an exemplary how to apply the talks into the practical way of life become very difficult to see for us. Here, before this, King Vena was punished because he was refused to follow the path of Dharma. Because the path of Dharma is so important for the living entities, for their own upliftment of their life, and for their own happiness and enjoyment of their life. And here King Vena has refused to follow the path of Dharma. That means he has totally rejected Lord Krishna himself, because Krishna is the ultimate root of every Dharma we are talking. Dharma Mulamehi Bhagavan Sarva Vedamayo Harihi. Every Vedas, every scriptures give the conclusion that Lord Krishna is the Mula, is the root of the path of Dharma in this world. There is no one is going to be a very good friend for the living entities other than the Dharma itself. Temporarily, we may have created so many different kinds of friends in this material world, but none of them is going to prove to us that the real friends except the Lord himself. The Manudharma says there are 7 kinds of friends in the world. One is called Vasya Mitra. Vasya Mitra means a selfish friendship, and he will be befriending with us. But the moment he sees that he cannot get anything from this guy, and then he leaves him and he looks for another friend. Vasya Mitra, one kind of friend in the material world. And the second kind of friend is called Advaita Mitra. He is a kind of good friend. He stays with you in your good time and bad time. And the third one is called Lagutta Mitra, that he does not mingle around much with us, but the moment you got some difficulties in your life, you call him up. If he can, he will come forward to help you. But he's not going to too much mingling around with anybody here. And the fourth one is a Dhruva Mitra, a special friend. Sometimes we say, oh, he's the only friend for you. You are the only special friend for you. And the fourth one is called Pitru Pitaha Mitra. That means coming from the family tradition, from our relative, from our cousin family, all related families. And the sixth one is called Ubhayabhavi Mitra. Is that this person, he helps anybody, whether he knows him or don't know him. When the time for him to give some help, he will help without any discrimination of friend, you know him or don't know him. And finally, the seventh kind of friend is called Udasina Mitra. He is the useless fellow. We say useless fellow, useless friend. He doesn't help even to the friend whom we know. He doesn't help even somebody whom we do not know. So in this way, there are 7 kinds of friends we have created in this material world. But the Shastra says none of them here is your real friend. There seems to be some of these people who could be the Hadvaita Mitra, who is in good time and bad time is with us. He could be, we can say he's a good friend. But at the time of death, when you're leaving your body, nobody is going to replace your place for the Yamaraj. If Yamaraj comes here, superintendent of death, even the mother tells to her son, my dear son, I'm very feared to see Yamaraj. I don't want to die. Can you go on behalf of me? Follow Yamaraj. Nobody is going to go with you at the time of death. But the Lord is very kind. Aham Atma Buddha-kesa lives in the heart of the living entities. Even if you become a dog in your next life, He follows you to help you, to assist you and guide you. Give a big hand for Lord Krishna. Such a wonderful friend. Otherwise, how the dog knows how to make love, how to produce children, how to take care of the children, how the dogs get the intelligence. He's not going to any school or college or university to study about maintenance of his life, but somewhere or other, everything is provided for him due to the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's what it is said in the chapter 9, text 18. That the Lord Krishna is a real friend of the living entities. Saranam Surit means those who have surrendered, and Krishna becomes a real friend of the living entities. So in this way, we have to understand that Dharma is the real friend of the living entities, nothing else. So whatever happens in our life, in the material world, it is very important we always stay in the path of Dharma. And we follow every single word told by Krishna. And ultimately, this Dharma, whoever tried to protect Dharma, finally Dharma will come to protect them. And whoever tried to destroy Dharma, just like King Vena before this, whoever tried to destroy Dharma, then they will get destroyed automatically. So in this way, we are seeing there are some great responsibility are given for the leaders in this world. King Vena have taken a very great leadership, a great responsibility, but is not acting according to the responsibility he has taken. In the Canto 5, chapter 5 of text 18 of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, it is mentioned that no one should become a father or mother. Guru Nasarit Mritum, that one should not become a father, we should not become a mother, one should not become a husband, one should not become a wife, one should not become a worshipable deities, one should not become a leader of the country if he is not able to deliver their dependence from the cycle of repeated birth and death. So in this way, great responsibility has been given. When you talk about a leader king, he is representing the Astapalakas. There are 8 demigods there, he is representing them. One is Surya, the king, the leader of the country. He is representing the Surya, sun god. He is representing Indra. He is representing Yama. He is representing Varuna. He is representing Vayu. He is representing Agni. He is representing Chandra. And he is representing Kubera. That means he has to be like a sun. The sun is shining, it is sucking the water, taking the water. That means the leader should be taking some texts from the people. We are talking about today, talking about GST and other things. Many of us may not be very happy. When we give back The sun is absorbing the water and keeping it for a time when it's needed. And now Indra is acting, now he's pouring it, whatever collected by sun god, is giving it back to the people in the form of rain. So leader should be like a sant. Always, you work hard, very hard, and you take some money, keep it for an emergency, keep it aside for there is a time required. And one should be like an Indra, pouring it back again in the form of a rain. And the third representative of the king is that Yamaraj. Yamaraj does not take any bribe from anybody. He is not going to be biased of anybody. I'll tell you a joke. Yamaraj, one time he came to this material world and he went to a coffee shop. There was a man drinking coffee. So Yamaraj went and sat beside him and he told him, please finish your coffee, I have to take you and go. This is your last coffee in Melbourne, Victoria. Then Yamaraj says, nobody likes to die, but death is inevitable. Jatasyo i dhruvam mrityu dhruvam janma mrityasya cha. You have not read Bhagavad Gita. Don't you know that death is inevitable? He asked him, where's your father? He said, my father died and gone. Where's your grandfather? He has died and gone. Where's your grandfather's father? He has died and gone. If everybody can die and go, what makes you to feel that you will not die? You useless fool. Finish your coffee, we have to go. And he says, no, I'm not coming. And Yamaraj says, look, I'm very serious about my work. And he pulled out the list of names. You see, all the names are there. Nobody is going to escape from it, from this Victoria, Melbourne. Everybody going to follow. You see, all the names are there. And I've come to you today because your name is on the top of the list. If it is in the bottom last, I will come later. But yours is appearing on the top. The first line is your name. You have to come. Then this man understand he cannot escape from Yamaraj. Then he told Yamaraj, since you're already here, why not you take a cup of coffee with me? So he went to order coffee. And he took the coffee and he put sleeping pills inside the coffee. And Yamaraj drank the coffee. Then he went to sleep for a short while. By the time Yamaraj got up, he took up the list and then he erased his name from the top. He put it on the bottom. And after Yamaraj got up half an hour, then he says, so are you ready? We have to go. He says, better you recheck your list again. See whether my name is up there or not. And Yamaraj checks the list of the name. And Yamaraj saw his name is on the bottom, the last. Yamaraj told him, look, nobody likes me in the world when I come to them. But you are the only fellow, the good fellow, who have bought a coffee for me. A very nice fellow. For everybody, I go from the top, but because you're very good today, I'm going to go from the bottom. Samprasaja boga dukhayoneya hevate hadiyantavantu kaundeya nate suramate buddha. In the chapter 5, text 22, Krishna explains the intelligent people never come and mess up their life in the sensual pleasure of this material world. They know there is a beginning here, it also will be ending here. But unfortunately, we are too busy of this mental speculation. We are too busy of building up every situation around us. But at the end of the day, we know that we are not going to take anything from here when we die. Isn't it? That's why Kundi Devi says, Ke vayam nama rupabhyam yadubi saha pandava bhavato darshanam yari rishikenam ivesatu, my dear Lord Krishna. Just because of your presence with us, we have been enjoying every opulence around us. Because the soul is within this body, the body seems to be enjoying every material circumstances. But the moment the soul leaves the body, and the body becomes invalid, nothing else he can enjoy. Our situation here in this material world is same. My dear Lord, the moment you are with us, everything is flourishing around us. The moment you leave us and go, we become zero and zero and zero, she said. When a person born in the world, they are zero. True or not? He did not come even with a piece of clothes. We are zero. In between, in our material world, in our life, we have accumulated something in our life, the so-called modern education, the so-called father and mother and children and family and friends and material opulence. So in between we become hero. Oh, you know, I got this one, I got that one. First you come, zero. In between you become hero. Because you got something with you. When you die, you become zero again. So Kundi Devi says, a life of a human being in the material world, zero, hero, zero. That is our life here. We were zero, and in between we become hero, finally we become zero again. Nothing else. Anybody going to say, no, I'm going to be hero forever? And it will happen like what happened to King Vena. So in this way, representing, the king has to represent all these demigods. One has to be like a Surya, like a sun god, collect whatever taxes to be collected. And again he has to be like Indra, give back whatever he has collected and multiply by 3. If he has taken $1 from you, he has to give back $3. He's not keep taking and taking and taking. Then again, the leaders, there has to be like a Yamaraj, no biasness here, that he does his duty, nobody can bribe him. And the fourth quality of a leader of this world is that he has to be like a Vayu. The air is flowing everywhere. There is no space here where the airs are not flowing. A father and mother, they know what is happening in the family with the children. Especially the man should know what is happening with his wife, what is happening with his children. He must be very aware of what is happening. Similarly, the leaders of the country, he must know exactly what is happening with their people in this country. So he should be like a Vayu. And the fifth is that he should be like a Varuna. Now Yamaraj comes to punish us at the time of death, but the Varuna punishes before the death to correct us, whatever wrong way we are doing. The Varuna is very kind to put us into the right direction. He gives us the different kinds of punishment. We don't like it, but to correct us, there are certain things that are happening in our life. So the leader should be like a Varuna. And the sixth quality of a leader is that he should be like a Agni. The Agni can be used for a good cause, perform yajna, or you can also burn down the house. Similarly, a leader should punish those who are badly, living in this world, and they should also reward those people who are doing very good for the world. And the seventh quality of a leader is that he should be like a Chandra, like a moon. Moon is only bringing coolingness in our life. It's not every time they bring in, some bad news, or we are going to increase your GST, we are going to increase your tax, we are going to take away your house, we are going to close down your temple. It's not bringing in bad news. The leader, a good leader, always bringing in, they are like a Chandra, bringing in a very good news for the people. And finally, the eighth quality of leader is that he should be like a Kubera. Kubera, he is the treasurer, he has got all the wealth with him. And he gives the wealth, so the leader should be, how to give a very good economic development for our people. In this way, when the leaders are not falling into these qualities, and they are to be punished, that's why the sages took a decision to punish King Vena, because he's not following the leadership properly, he's not becoming responsible for what he's doing. So Prabhupada says, generally in this world people are very much interested in Lakshmi, but they're not very interested in Narayana. But then again the Shastra is in arguing and fighting. In that place, husband and wife learn to respect each other. It is a lot of great stories are there. Why it has to be done in that way? Even jokingly, you cannot raise your hand to beat your wife. She is the representative of Mother Bhumi. The father is the representative of Brahma. And the Guru is the representative of the spiritual world, the Lord Himself. So for even when a man dies, he has to perform some final rites. He needs a child, a son, who can perform these rites for him. And to have a son, to have a child, and his wife has to produce a child for him, then you know how important is your wife in your life. Of course, today people don't give much kind of importance. That's why the society having a lot of different kinds of chaos and problems. Today's world. In our Vedic Dharma, there is no separation. There is no question of divorce. There is a normal Dharma you follow. But there is an emergency law is there. Emergency Dharma. Just like when you go in past stool, you need a water to wash your backside. But if there is no water, emergency, use a tissue paper. Emergency law. So, a husband and wife can be separated, but if it's emergency there, the man is always going behind his wife to kill her, to poison her, to, the life becomes so hellish that there is not even, they can think of Krishna. There is not even Dharma in their life. And there's an emergency, and you are allowed to eat meat. If there is no existing, no getting of any vegetarian food, emergency to maintain this body, so that the mission of human life is only Krishna consciousness, is nothing else. To practice Krishna consciousness, you must have some energy in your body, you must have some good intelligence in yourself. For that reason, sometimes the emergency law is applied in certain circumstances, but unfortunately today the world is only following the emergency law. They are not following the normal law is given by the Lord Himself. You talk to anybody. Today there are great talk among the people. You talk to the people, they will say that the wealth is everything. Money. No money, no talk. Isn't it? There are people say money is honey. So wealth is everything. There are people are saying wealth is everything in this life. But there are people are saying no. Wealth is not everything in life. Health is everything. Today there's a great talk among the people. There are people saying wealth is everything. There are people saying no, health is everything in life. But there are certain classes of people, they are saying no. Health and wealth is wealth, no health, no wealth and health. Your soul is everything in your life. If there is no soul in your body, how do you enjoy your wealth? How do you enjoy your health? If there is no presence of the soul in your body, super soul Krishna becomes more important, because without the presence of the super soul, the soul is not going to be in your body. Punyo ganda prithiviyam cha teja sasmi vibhasvata jivasya sarva bhutanam. That Krishna says, I am the life of the life. He is the soul of the he is the super soul. Without presence of Krishna, then we are dead and gone, finished. There is soul and super soul living in our body. The moment the super soul decides that I want you to live, it's not we decide. The moment Krishna decides I want you to leave this body, then the soul also follows the super soul. That means who is more important here? Prabhuji, Mahatmaji. Right? Super soul becomes very important. Just like you are living with your children in one house, the moment parents decided, I want to vacate this house, I want to go to another house, the children follow the parents. Similarly, Krishna consciousness is so important in our life. For every moment of living in our life is dependent on the mercy of Krishna. That's what I said, Gatir Bhartu Prabhu Saksir Nivasa. Krishna becomes your final mission. And my English properly. I only learned to speak English after coming to Hare Krishna movement by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. But then I was in Vrindavan. Normally this time of the year I spend 4 months in Vrindavan for my own spiritual upliftment. Then I received a call from my friend from here, Bhakta Michael, some of you may know him. He called me up, he says, I'm dying of lung cancer. Please come and see me. So I dropped everything in Vrindavan, I came to see him. And within that, Mahatmaji come and visit him also. And then, there are a lot of Christian missionaries are coming. Christian missionaries are there. So of course we have a very great conversation with these people. I asked this man, Christian missionary, do you tell me why you born as a human being, not born as a dog, a cat, or female, or anything? Why you are born as a man? Why? Why as a human being? He said, I got to love my father and mother. But you're Christian, you say love your Jesus with your heart and soul. Ultimately, your love is only for Jesus, not for anybody else. Your mother, father, children, everybody here in this world to facilitate you to love the Lord, nothing else, not for your own enjoyment. Do you agree or not? Between come to loving of Jesus and others in the world, who are the... And he asked me, what is the reason? I said, because you misuse your mind. You're born as a human being, When you misuse your mouth, you're born as an animal. When you misuse your body, punching and killing and kicking in others, you're born as a plant and tree. So he said, very wonderful, to hear. It's something new for me. And asked the lady, can you tell me, your Christian brothers, some of them are born as a blind man in this world. She said, it's a mistake of Adam and Eve. I said, the Adam and Eve, they made a mistake. They should suffer for their mistake. Why innocent people have to suffer for their mistake? It's not very fair. If you go to a court case, if a judge says, because your brother murdered and I'm going to hang you, and you can fight the case. True or not? She said, yes. I said, look, let's say what the Lord himself says today. So I open up 13th chapter, text 21. Karya karanam kartritve etu prakritya uchite purusa sukadukhanam bhuktritve etu uchite. The nature is said to be the cause of effect and things in this material world, but the living entity is the cause for its own happiness and suffering of this material world. So I asked her, what do you think about this statement by the Supreme Personality of Godhead? You think it's fairly been said? She said, yes. So everything is already there. So I told my friend, the aeroplane is flying, this was flying all the time. True or not? It has to be a landing somewhere in some time. True or not? Am I lying or what? So aeroplane is flying beautifully. Prabhupada gave us this information. With the wonderful pilot, with business class, economic class, everybody happy, enjoy flying. But you can't keep flying all the time. There has to be a landing place. The moment the pilot make announcement, I'm very sorry to say, I do not know where we are landing. I don't see any landing place. And we become in a great anxiety, fear. Devotees normally they're very happy and peaceful because they know where is their landing place of their journey of life. We are in the journey of life. We have come to stop in the Australia, in Victoria. For a short destination, their destination is is the abode of the Lord, and they're very peaceful, they're very happy. They are not carried away by of this resting place. Prabhupada says just like in the restaurant, so many different peoples come and gather, they eat together, after that they go their own way. Similarly here, we have to understand, we have given this great opportunity. You don't need to give up your family, you don't need to give up your marriage life, you don't need to give up your job, you don't need to give up of economic development. Ada Pumbe Dujasrista Varna Shrama Vibhagasa Swastinustasya Dharmasya Samsiddhim Aritosham. With all the opulences been given to you, Krishna is very kind. He has given you a good wife, He has given you a good husband, He has given you... Everything is very nicely given to us. It's not for our own material enjoyment. The problem in the world today is that people are thinking all these things are for my enjoyment. But if they look in the other way, that all those things to facilitate, to revive my Krishna consciousness, I'm not here to make any family, revive my lost Krishna consciousness so that I know Krishna in truth and miserable material Victoria land. We are thinking everything is very nice here. But the duality, matras pasastu kaunteya sitosna sukadukada, one moment it will be very nice, but another moment the bad will come because it's a cycle. So here, King Vena's ruling was so bad, the sages to the people having a great difficulties because he is refusing to cooperate with the providers. The demigod's been providing him everything. He is refused to cooperate. The whole material world today with all kinds of problems because people are refused to cooperate with the provider. The Lord, He has got His agent, all these 33 million demigods, He is providing everything for the betterment of the living entities. But in the chapter 3, text 12, Krishna explains this thing. Istan Bogan Iho Deva Dasyante Yagya Bhavita Tai Datan Abhayabhyo Yobungte. Through the order of Krishna, Maya Deksena Prakriti Suyate Chachatram Metunana Kaunteya Jagat Viparivartat. In the chapter 9, text 10, Krishna explained all these demigods, they are carrying out my order. Under the order of Krishna, the demigods are providing the necessities of human life, but the human beings who are not cooperating with these demigods, they are not even saying thanks to the provider. And they become a thief in the material world. Prabhupada writes beautifully in the Purport 3.12, how you can expect happiness in thief's life. A thief cannot be happy. Whatever we are enjoying today, the very air we are breathing in and out, is all by the mercy of Vayu. A devotees, they are very careful. The respect bhavati parjanyo yagya karma samudbhava. The very living entities living in this world by the eating the grains, and the grains are provided by the performance, by the coming of the rain, and rains are falling into the ground by the performance of yajna, and the yajna sacrifice becomes the prescribed duty of the living entities. Still today we are able to breathe, we can drink, we can eat. Due to some good people in the world, they are performing sacrifices for the ultimate pleasure of the Lord. No. Karma brahmad bhavam vidhi brahmaksharam samudbhavam tasmat sarvagatham brahma nityam yajna pratishtitam. And whatever has been said here from the Vedas are direct words of Lord Krishna himself, nothing else. Evam pravartitunam chakram nano vahayati hayaya Akayor indriya ramo bhogan pavisisyate. That those who do not follow this cycle, so somewhere or other, that is what the Brahmin, the sages are trying to re-establish. For the cooperation of the elements in the body, we are not going to have a very happy life here. True or not? If the eyes are not cooperating with this body, how are we going to see? If the mouth are not cooperating with this body, how are we going to eat and digest? Everything has to be some cooperation. But King Vena refused to cooperate. So everything became very difficult. So that sages, they thought it is very good to change the leader. If the leader, human being, has got a dharma to perform, we have to understand. In the Canto 7, chapter 8, chapter 11, from text 8 to 12, Narada Muni is explaining about the dharma of the living entities to Yudhishthira, principle for a human being, dharma. The moment they follow the 30th principle, he says the Supreme Personality of Godhead become very satisfied and then he is pleased with health. Health is thing, but in the Titik Seksha Samodhama Ahimsa Brahmacharyam Cha Tyagam Swajayam Arjavam Sandosam Samadriksheva Gammeyo Paramam Sane Nirninam Vipraye Yaksha Atma Maunam Atmam Vimarsanam Annadayat Samvibhago Bhutebhyacha Yadar Harta Tesvatma Devata Buddhir Sutaram Nirsu Pandava Sravanam Kirtanam Chasya Smaranam Mahatam Gathe Vanate Dasyam Sevasya Sakyam Atmanivedhanam Nirnam Ayam Paro Dharma Sarvesam Samudadritha Trimsha Lakshanavan Raja Sarvatmoye Natusyati. Trimsal means 30 principle. Let us understand today. If you are a human being as what you claim, then you show me that you're a human being. You cannot behave like a dog, barking and fighting and all this doggish thing you do. And at the same time, when I say you live like a dog, you get upset. The question of being a Hare Krishna, what is the question of being a Christian, what is the question of being a Muslim? Truthfulness is the first qualification for being a human being. Satyam, Daya. The second qualification or principle of human life is that mercifulness. The third is that austerity. The fourth is that cleanliness inside you and outside you. The fifth is that tolerance. The sixth is that to understand what is good and what is bad of this world. The seventh is that control of your mind. The eighth is that control of your senses. The ninth is that celibacy. The 10th is that non-violence. And the 14th principle of human life is to satisfaction. The 15th is serving the devotees of the Lord. And the 16th is gradually giving up the material engagement. And the 17th principle of human life is that to give up all of our futile activities, the so-called social services of this world. 18th, body and soul. The 20th principle of human life is that equal distribution of food in this world. And 21st principle of human life is that to understand that you are divine, your soul, nothing else. The 22nd principle of human life is that to hearing about the holy name of the Lord. And then the 23rd principle of life is that to chanting. And the 24th principle is remembering. The 25th principle of human principle is that human life is that service to the Lord. And then the 26th principle of human life is to offer obeisances to the Lord. And then the 27th principle of human life is the worship of the Lord. And then the 28th principle of human life to become servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And 29th principle of human life is to become friend of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and Atma Nivedana. Finally, the 30th principle of human life is that to give oneself to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This makes you a human being. Otherwise, you are simply two-legged, polished animal of this world. So Prabhupada saying this thing means he's not he's simply saying out of enviousness. He found that these guys are not. Beautifully, Vidura gives instructions to Dhritarashtra. He says there are 17 kinds of insane things in this material world. He says number one is that dominating others is insane. Dominate others. In the name of a husband, in the name of a wife, in the name of leader, dominating others is not a very good thing. Vidura says dominating others is insane. The second is that uncontrolled senses they become insane. The third is that simply satisfied with making money in this material world is insane. The fourth is that collaborating with enemies to destroy your own friend is insane. The fifth is that mixing around with a loose woman is insane. The sixth is that born in a very good family but acting very lowly is insane. The 17th is that the karmi, the non-devotee, preaching to the devotees about the betterment of this world is insane. The 8th principle is that making a low jokes towards your daughter-in-law is insane. And 9th principle is that becoming ungrateful is insane. And 10th he says that the old age destroy the beauty. And the 11th he says that death destroy the living being. And the 12th, he says that lust destroy the shamefulness of the living entities. And the 13th he says that desires destroy the patience of the living entities. And the 14th he says that anger destroy wealth. And then the 15th he says that misconduct destroy your dharma. And then the 16th he says that lowly association with the wicked man destroy your morality. And the 17th he says, very important one, he says, your ego will destroy everything in life. True or not? Ultimately, prakriti, kriya, manani, gune, karmani, sarvasa, ahankara, vimura, you become ego, full ego. Doesn't matter whether you are wearing tilak or neck beads or any dress in this material world. Krishna is not interested in your material external appearances, but he wants to see that whether your heart is loving him or not. When you love Krishna, you love every living entities in this world in this way that he says, Vidura says, that ego destroys everything of the living entities in this world. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Trinalapi sunichena tarorapi sahisnuna amanena manatena kirtaneya sadahari. The Shastra says 10 ways you can see about the living entities. Nobody to tell you. 10 ways you can identify whether he is a good fellow or bad fellow. The Shastra says the number one is that the kinds of book he is reading. From that you will know what is his mentality. True or not? The kind of book he is reading. Through that you find the mentality of this person. Number two, the kind of food he is eating. That will also show you the mentality of this person. Number three, the kind of association he is taking. Number four, how he spends his times in a day. And number five, what kind of activities he is doing. And number six, what kind of a place he is living. And number seven, what kind of family he has got. And number eight, what kind of thoughts are going on in him. And number nine, he says the habit of this person. And number 10, what kind of mantra he is chanting. That will determine the character of this person. Very beautifully. That's why Prabhupada is so wonderful, so kind. He gave us the Bhagavatam, the prasadam. And the kind of and you chant your 16 rounds, you hear the Bhagavatam, take prasadam. How you utilize your time? Prabhupada has given us a proper way how to utilize our time. And daily activities, what to perform, Prabhupada has given us, and a place where to stay. He says, if you're grihastha, married man, please stay closer to the temple so that there are great access for you to come to the temple and go. And the seventh, your family also very important. Then you may make your family Krishna conscious. And the eighth is that your thoughts are always very important, so always keep your thought Krishna conscious. And number 9, your habit is very important, so become habituated on the process of Krishna consciousness. And number 10, mantra is so important. Prabhupada has given us this wonderful chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. In this way, Prabhupada has given us the most beautiful, wonderful process in a very simple way. What is so difficult for many people around the world, Prabhupada had made it very simple way for us to practice. We should become grateful to Prabhupada and do what he says. We have to follow very nicely and always keep in touch with Prabhupada by hearing his lectures, reading his books, taking his instruction as life and soul. In this way, always keeping ourselves in this wonderful ISKCON organization. Nothing else is comparable or compete with this movement. So, Prabhupada has given the best thing in our life. And you take your own, you become the pilot of your flight, nobody else. Where you are landing, you can determine. So you should not blame anybody else that I'm having difficulty in my life. Karya, karanaka, you become the responsible for your happiness and enjoyment of your life. There are so many difficulties we have seen, we have gone through, but end of the day, we will understand every of these situations for our own purification. Krishna is so kind, he put us in the battle of all these difficulties, so that you become mature to understand. How you become mature? That you see Krishna in everything. Arjuna says, yato nishalate manam chanchalam. The mind is very, disturbance, always flickering. I do not know how to control the mind. And Krishna very beautifully says, Sarva bhutam samatmanam, Sarva bhutani chatmani, iksate yoga yuktatma, sarvatra samadarshina. Arjuna, whatever you see in this world, you see me in that things. And when you see me, you see everything in me. In this way, everywhere you see me, and you will be able to control your mind. Very easy process. Then you become Krishna conscious, you are very clear about your journey and path, and you are very happy in your life. We should not think that the wife is giving me problem, the children are the problem. Nobody is Krishna, and when you become a divine creation can become good and bad. It has nothing to do with anything. It is just how you see it. Prabhupada says knife is good for the barber, but it's bad for the murderer. Nothing else. So in this way, we have given a great opportunity. We should be happy and enjoy our Krishna consciousness. And there are a lot of work to do in Krishna consciousness, because this could be our last life in the miserable material world. And we have to do the best for ourselves, for our family, for our friends, and entire human society. You are thinking all the time to be happy, and the whole world become happy. So Krishna can help us in every circumstances, every situation, and we can feel the presence of Krishna if we can see Krishna in everything. So with this thing, I would like to take this opportunity to thank Sukadev Prabhu for giving me this great opportunity. Sorry, I'm not here to spend most of my time here. I'm in the hospital. I go 10 o'clock to the hospital, and I come back home 10 o'clock at night. The first thing I never liked in my life is hospital. I don't like. I've been to the hospital, so I know. But somewhere or other, this man, he has called me up. I do not say we are very close friends. I met him in 2008 in Mogalamba when I was giving the Bhagavatam class. He came from Melbourne. He met me there. And then after that, I met him in 2009 in Melbourne when I came here After that, for next 6-7 years, I've lost contact of him. He also can't, From here, the old man has come to see me. He's 68 years old. For that one reason, I say is the payback time. I have to go back and see him. Doesn't matter whether it's my family member, anything. I'm indebted to him. It's a time to pay back, so I don't want to leave the world without. Doesn't expect us to become very pakka. He expects us to become very simple, very pure in our heart, that we love ourselves, we love others, we love Krishna, we love the whole thing in the world. So for that reason, I've come here. But unfortunately, I thought he's going to die, but the more he's hearing, the more he's reading. The guy he was lying down, so I came and chanted for him. Then I read Bhagavatam for him. He got up and sit on the bed. The next day I'm reading Chaitanya Charitamrita and chanting. He got down and then walking and preaching to others in the hospital. And he's taking me to different places. Oh, you preached to him, preached to him. In between, the Christian missionaries are coming, his brothers coming, the family coming, grandchildren. We are preaching the whole day to everybody there. I told him, look like you're not going to die. I said, look, whatever, 22nd, I'm going back to Vrindavan. Okay, that is a kind of him that he has given a great opportunity to be a little bit, important in his life by bringing Krishna consciousness. And then I met another couple beside him. And they are from Adelaide, they were admitted there and preached to them a little bit. And they were very interested. They said, first time we're hearing about this thing. And they gave me the address where they're going to live for long. They said, please bring some books and please tell us more. We do not know about any of these things. So I think the hospital is a very good place for preaching. Yeah. Hare Krishna, thank you so much for being here. And then I do not know whether we have got time for question and answer. But always the prasadam becomes more important than anything else in our life. So you think, and then I leave it to Sukadev Prabhu to decide.
Adam and Eve, that reference. So in Bhagavatam we hear that Indra got sin by killing Brahmana. And he had to deposit that sin to...
But in our organization, in our village life, so there could be that full, total free. Just like we are sitting, and somebody may not like me, he may be put a curse on me. Is it there? There are people, they go to black magic and this and they throw a curse on somebody, but only start acting on you when you are not Krishna consciousness, when you are serious on this path, nothing will affect you. So somewhere that, some people have got this kind of difficulties. It's been started from many, many lifetimes. So very difficult to trace back what was their mistake of their previous life. Prabhu.
Thank you for a nice lesson. You were mentioning how Devotees of Fortune always likes to stay with someone who's also engaging the money in the service of Krishna, but at the same time we can see so many thousands of years in the world that there are so many leaders who are really irreligious. Like now we can see like only all of the big powers in the world, but it seems like they're having all the wealth, but many ISKCON centers, they're struggling with paying their bills.
Yeah. So what do you want me to do?
So it seems that appears contradictory.
Well, you have to see that when you follow the path of Dharma properly, beautifully Krishna says, when you bring in Narayana in a very favorable way in your life, Lakshmi follows. When something is given to you by their mercy, then you misuse them. Then it may be stopped giving, just like the demigods were stopped giving because King Vena misusing whatever been given to them. Similarly, that I do not go more into detail. We've been in the movement for a long time. We have seen a lot of things around, and we have to be very careful. Whatever Krishna has given us, we should not take it for granted. Oh, I'm a devotee of Krishna. I can do anything I like. I'm the best leader. All other people are demons in the world. You cannot think like that. So, Krishna has got a reason. The devotees are there. and everybody has got their spiritual master. They should consult their spiritual master when there is some doubts and some difficulty comes, and accordingly it can be also explained to them. I'm a visitor, so I do not know much about what is happening wherever. I'm just go take little bit prasad. If I'm given an opportunity to talk, I'm talking. Otherwise, I'm just somewhere either sleeping or chanting in the hospital or doing something. So like that, that's very important. That Krishna promises in the chapter 9, text 22. Ananya chintayanto mam yejana paryupasate tesam nitya bhyuktanam yogam semam vahamyaham. Krishna provides and he protects. Krishna promises these things. And our organization started almost from zero. Prabhupada came from India. He's only carried 40 rupees with him. By the time he left the world, there were millions and millions in asset and money. So Krishna has provided everything. So now if we're having some difficulty, we should analyze where the things are, because Krishna cannot be wrong. Krishna's words cannot go anything wrong. Somewhere in the application of using Krishna's things could be somewhere we might have made some mistake. That's what I said. We got our gurus, our leaders. We should discuss with them and see that how these opulences can come. Kundi Devi says, Nayam Sobayati Tatra. She says, my dear Krishna, because of your lotus feet have touched our land, all the opulences are there. She says, because of your glance on our children, they are protected all the time and we enjoy every opulences around. So when Krishna's lotus feet has touched your temple, and Krishna's glances are on earth, and there's not going to be any shortage here. Otherwise, there are many, many temples around the world, that which are failing. So many Hindu temples around the world, they have failed because they are not able to strictly follow the path of Dharma. Everything is given to us, but the moment you think you are the proprietor and you can use the way you like it, then things will be taken away from you. That's all. So we got to be very careful in what we do. Yeah, Prabhuji. At the moment I'm Maya conscious, so don't follow me. Follow Prabhupada, and you all are very nice devotee. You have taken the trouble to come and sit here even for a short while. Krishna is very grateful to you. There are people out there, they never give any response to Krishna consciousness. Totally they have zero time to say thanks to the thing. Isn't it? That one thing, just like Krishna went to look for the Pandavas. He went to look for the Pandavas when they were given that city. What city is that? Before it was Indraprastha. It starts with the K, Gandhavaprastha. When Dhritarashtra gave Gandhavaprasthas to the Pandavas, of their share, it's just a mountain and desert, nothing else. So they were nothing, not even they got a proper house to live, the Pandavas. So from Dwaraka, Krishna gone all the way to the Gandhavaprastha. Few days he took his journey, and then he went there, and then he saw the Pandavas living even without any house. So Krishna, the moment he takes some food, he says, no, I'm going to go and look around Gandhavaprastha, sightseeing. And the Pandavas were very amazed because there is nothing sightseeing in Gandhavaprastha, nothing there. It's not like, Melbourne, so many buildings, skyscrapers and everything. And then they were thinking what Krishna wants to see. But Krishna took, Arjun, they went around, he came back at night, And the whole night Krishna was not sleeping, he was crying. How my people are suffering, how my devotees are suffering. And he was crying, and then he called Vishwakarma to come, architect of the universe. So Vishwakarma came. Krishna says, look, by next morning, there should be a greater city here, more better than the Hastinapur. So you have to do that. By, before the sunrise. And Vishwakarma immediately made a beautiful city. And the next day, even the people who were living there, even Krishna took away the memory of them that they have been a very poor people, they have lived in a very small cottage. So the whole transformation took place just simply because Krishna, was very pleased with these devotees, the Pandavas. So Krishna gave the whole thing to them, more better than the Hastinapur. So he became Indraprastha later on. So like that, Krishna can give us everything in this world, provided even the big money come to us, we live very simple. Understanding is all Krishna has given us to facilitate others to become more closer to Him and go back to Him. It's not we are trying to do something very big, but we don't have this humbleness. Prabhu says 4 things you must do. You must become humbler than the grass. You must become more tolerant than the tree. And you must start respecting everybody else in this world. And do not expect any return of respect from anybody. In that consciousness, in the mode of humbleness, then we'll be very successful. I tell you today, preaching is very, very easy. Very easy. People are not expecting a big philosophy, big explanation, nothing. People are looking for a good friend. A friend who can interact very sweetly with us. If the Christian missionaries are coming, I accommodate them. I tell my friend, don't get angry of these people, accommodate them. How are you, brother? How are you, sister? Are you okay? Is everything okay for you? We all in the journey towards the Lord. We may have little bit differences, but that is in the practice, but in belief, we all believe there is the ultimate creator to whom everything belongs to this world. So you meet people, you ask, how are you today? People are very happy. And a sincere friend. It will create, even the friend I'm visiting in the hospital, their family members, their sister, nobody can believe I flew all the way from Vrindavan. They never paid my ticket, but I hope he's not hearing. Maybe he may die because I'm talking about money. But don't worry. But I flew all the way from Delhi. 26 hours of journey and going back, more transit, going to be 30 over hours. But I took all the trouble to come in, so the family could not believe that, the family thing is a useless fella, always fighting. But how important, we are talking very nicely, even to the people who don't have our kind of belief. How are you? Everything okay? Have you taken your food? Your children okay? Take care of your life. The world is, going. You have so many things we can say, but say it in a way that they can understand and become more possible for them to come closer to Krishna. That's what the Dharma for the mouth. Anuvegam Karam Vakyam, the chapter 17, text 15. Krishna talks about the Dharma, the religion for your mouth. Anuvegam, when you talk something, your talk should not agitate others' mind. When you talk something, Anuvegam, Karamvakyam, Satyam, Priyam, Itam Chaya, you have to speak the truth, and the truth has to be very palatable, and also you only speak for the ultimate benefit of that person. Swadhyaya Bhyasan Chaiva, Van Mayam Tabam Uchyate, that you use your mouth to chant the holy name of Krishna, you use your mouth to read the scriptures. This is the Dharma for the mouth. It's not because we got a mouth and we are devotee and we are like a Christian missionary. You're going to hell because you're not coming to Krishna. We are not like that. Nobody goes to hell for eternal like any other people. Krishna is very kind. Temporarily we see the hellish planet, then you'll understand, so bad, I don't want to go back again. And Krishna gives you intelligence. Okay, you go a little bit, the heavenly planet, and you go there, it's too good, it's not so good for me. Anything too good is no good. So I must go back to Krishna. Krishna gives you the intelligence, how to come back to me. Thank you so much for being here. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all glories to all the assembled Vaishnavas. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaura Pramanande.